Hey guys, today I want to talk about the Monorail resorts at Walt Disney World. Disney World has 3 resorts that are on the monorail line. They have the Grand Floridian, Polynesian, and the Contemporary. Let's break the 3 down and talk about what makes them each unique and which one you may like better. Let's start with the Contemporary. The Contemporary is the one that you go through if you are riding the express monorail on your way to the Magic Kingdom. When you go to the ticket and transportation station, there are 2 monorails. One is the resort line and one is the express line. And the express line takes you straight to the parks, but the resort line, though, takes you to all 3 of the resorts and the park. Now, the Contemporary has the main building, which is that one that you can, I'm sure I'm putting a picture up here of like it's kind of like a big triangle, and it's supposed to be like modern and kind of clean cut. They also have outer line buildings, and then they have the DVC building, which is further back, and that is called Bay Lake Towers. These rooms are all very modern looking. The Disney theming is very minimal and subtle, which seems to be the trend for most of the resorts these days, is to keep the theming subtle. Most of their rooms sleep 5. They have 2 queen beds and then a pull down like 5th sleeper that's for like a small adult or a child. And then if you go over to Bay Lake Towers, which is the DVC building, they will have a lot of different options of rooms. They actually have some rooms I think that sleep less than 5, but then they also have the studios, which sleep 5. They have the 1 bedrooms, and then they have the 2 bedrooms, and then they have the grand villas, which will sleep, oh goodness, I think it's like 12. I'll have to double check that. Bay Lake Towers and the park side of the main building Contemporary have some great views of the Magic Kingdom. You can see some great fireworks if you're up high enough. It's a really nice view. The other side also has nice views of the water and just a real tranquil feeling. It's an overall nice feeling. They have a really nice pool, which has kind of a monorail theming to it. Inside the main building, there is Chef Mickey's, which is a favorite for a lot of people to eat breakfast at. They have character breakfast there with Mickey Mouse, and it's a very good breakfast. It's family style. Family style basically just means that you all are at the table and you don't really order your food. They will just bring you everything they serve, and they put it there on the table, and if you want more of something, you can ask for more. It's all you can eat. And I really like family style because it just makes it simple, especially with the kids. You don't have to worry about trying to order and then people not wanting what they ordered. They just bring it all to you and you eat as much as you want. Now, this was because of COVID that they started doing it this way. It usually is a buffet. But I do not know if they're going to go back to the buffet model or if they're going to keep it as a family style. I hope they keep it as family style dining. So we will have to watch and see what they do. But as of right now, I believe they are still family style dining, and Mickey Mouse is there. He just is a little more social distance than normal, but you can still see Mickey at Chef Mickey's. Now, as you move on over into their lobby area, this is probably one of my least favorite resorts of the monorail resorts. I feel it's a little bit airport-like. It feels a little bit like you're in an airport. There are some really pretty things in there, like there's some pretty murals and stuff, and then obviously some of the views are pretty. But overall, it's a pretty, just like one big room, and it's kind of a cold, very modern airport-like feel. But it's not bad, and some people really like that. So if you like that more sleek, modern look, the Contemporary might be just right for you. A great thing about the Contemporary is that it is on the monorail line. So the monorail goes literally through the building. It comes right inside the main building, and you just go upstairs to the monorail floor, and that is where you get on and off the monorail. And then it is just like right there by Magic Kingdom. It's like 2 seconds and you're there. You also can just walk straight to the Magic Kingdom from the Contemporary. It's a really short little walkway, and it is very nice and convenient. They do your bag check and all that kind of stuff right there just for Contemporary guests, so you don't have to do it with all the other guests, and it helps get you in the park a little bit faster. Another great thing is you can get to Epcot from the monorail. So all you do is you get on the monorail and it takes you to the transportation station. At the transportation station, you will get off and get on the Epcot monorail, and then that one will take you on over to Epcot. The monorail for Epcot is currently closed at this moment, but it is supposed to be opening up very soon, so just keep an eye out for that. All right, next resort over is the Polynesian, and this is my favorite resort of the 3 monorail resorts. It has a Hawaiian, as in the name, Polynesian feel. Each of the buildings is named after a Polynesian island. The building that we stayed in was Pago Pago, and it was great. It was actually a standard view room, but we had a beautiful view of the gardens, and it was just lovely. Now their rooms are very similar to the others, they have 2 queen beds and then like a pull down sleeper child size like twin type bed, or a small adult. I actually could fit on it too, but it definitely not someone that's much bigger than me would probably feel comfortable on the bed. And that's kind of the way all of the pull down beds are. The Polynesian is actually undergoing quite a bit of refurbishment right now. So some of these photos that I'm inserting here and showing you are kind of a little outdated, even though it was not that long ago. Shortly after we stayed there, they decided to basically redo everything. So there is a lot of new there, and I will try and find some photos of the new rooms to insert, hopefully right about now. Their new rooms have a Moana theme to them, and I think they are very pretty and sleek and modern looking. I will say I'm a little more partial to the original rooms. I kind of liked the mid-century vibe that they gave off, but I have not seen the new rooms in person, and sometimes pictures just do not do justice. So I am holding out my final decision on the rooms until I see them in person, because who knows, I may actually really like them. Now, something about Polynesian is kind of split in half, and half of the resort is going to be regular rooms through Disney, and then the other half it's still through Disney, but they are DVC rooms. And they have several buildings there that are DVC, and then they have the bungalows that are also DVC rooms. Now, anyone can rent DVC, but those are meant more for people who own DVC, and you can rent DVC either through Disney or through a DVC owner. And there are several websites that you can do that with, and we'll have to talk about that in another video. I really enjoy these rooms because they actually have 2 bathrooms in their studios on the DVC side, not on the cash paying side. And only one toilet though, 2 bathrooms, but 1 toilet. So only one of them has a toilet in it, but they are beautifully done bathrooms. They have wonderful showers. I really enjoy the DVC showers, and all of the DVC rooms seem to have these really nice showers. So DVC is a little bit of an upgrade than the regular rooms, I would feel like. But I have not been in every single one, so I can't say that that's completely true. But as far as I have seen, that seems to be true. The Polynesian has an excellent pool. It is one of my favorite pools in all of Walt Disney World. It is super fun. It's nice and big. It's basically a big volcano, and it has this nice big pool area with a slide. And then the kid area is huge and super fun and has multiple slides. It's probably one of the biggest kid areas of all the resorts that I've stayed at anyway. And we really enjoy the pool. It also has excellent views of the castle. You cannot beat the views sitting in the hot tub with the whole Hawaiian Polynesian feel, and you look out over the bay and there is Cinderella's castle, and it is just amazing. You cannot beat it. It is my favorite. They also have some of the best restaurants, in my opinion. They have Captain Cook's, which is a quick service, and we really enjoy Captain Cook. It has a nice variety of food, and they have some things on their menu that you can't necessarily get anywhere else, so I really enjoy Captain Cook's. We also really like Ohana. Ohana is a reservation dining experience. They do a breakfast there that has characters, and then in the afternoon and evening they just do, there's no characters, but it's excellent food. And they do also that family style dining where they just kind of bring everything to you and you just eat, and whatever you need more of, you can ask for more, and it is a ton of food. Ohana also has some of the best views that I have ever seen at Disney World. They have this beautiful big window, and we happen to get to sit right in front of it, and you look straight out at the castle, and it's a gorgeous view, excellent food, and we all love Ohana's. They also have Kona Cafe, and I have not eaten there, so I can't really say a whole lot about Kona Cafe, but the food on the menu looks and sounds really good, and I'm sure that it is. And like the Contemporary, the Polynesian is also on the monorail line. They are redoing the monorail station, so I'm not sure what it'll be like when they are done, but when we were there, it was super easy. You just walked right out onto kind of like a balcony, and the monorail just pulls right up, and you get right on the monorail, and it just takes you on around to the Magic Kingdom. And then same thing with coming home, it just brought you right home. You also, I forgot to mention this, you can also take a boat to Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and the Contemporary. So if you don't want to do the monorail, they do have a boat that will take you to each of those, and they each have their own private dock that they let you off at. Now, another thing about the Polynesian is if you are on the DVC side, you have another option for transportation. You can actually walk over to the transportation station and hop on the express monorail, which takes you directly to the Magic Kingdom and doesn't make any other stops at the other resorts. And because of the way the DVC buildings are located at, it's actually just as short of a walk to walk over to the express monorail as it is to walk to the Polynesian's monorail station. The only difference is you will go through security a little differently, so it may take you a little bit longer for security if the lines are long. Sometimes it doesn't matter and it's not longer at all. But if the lines are long, because that is what everybody coming to the Magic Kingdom goes to the express monorail, you will have longer waits if you go at a high volume time. Otherwise, yeah, it really isn't much of a difference. And same thing for coming home. You can get off at the express, take the express and come home and get off, or even the resort one, because it actually makes a stop at the transportation station too. So you can actually get off there and walk over to the DVC rooms, and it is just as short of a walk as the Polynesians. So kind of just whatever you want to do. All right, and before we move on to the Grand Floridian, I forgot to mention the Contemporary does also have a quick service restaurant, and then they also have a couple other restaurants. I have not eaten at them, so I cannot tell you a whole lot about them, but they do have other restaurants. They do not just have Chef Mickey's. So just know that you do have other dining options if you stay there. All right, and then last but not least, we have the Grand Floridian. And this is kind of Disney's flagship resort. It is their big, main, fancy resort, and since building that, they have built other resorts that are just as nice and fancy and just as expensive, so it's not even necessarily their most expensive resort anymore. But it is a beautiful resort. It is done in a Victorian era, and Mary Poppins, you know, that kind of theming is kind of what they were going for. And it's beautiful. They have beautiful buildings. They have just everything inside the lobby is just very ornate and fancy. And it feels very, yeah, elegant, I guess you could say. Elegant would be a good feel for it. This is a favorite resort to a lot of people, and the only resort that a lot of people want to stay at. Same thing with Polynesian. That is also some people's favorites, and they always have to stay there. I don't hear as many people say that the Contemporary is their go-to, we have to stay here resort, but I'm sure there are people who absolutely love that one as well. Like the other two resorts, they do have DVC, and then they have the regular, just cash paying Disney side. They actually are going to take another building or two, I can't remember if it's one or two, and convert them to DVC. So DVC, right now they only have one building that's DVC, but soon they will have more. So that is great news. If you are a DVC owner at the Grand Floridian, there will be more options for you, because this is one of the hardest resorts to book through DVC because they fill up super fast. Now, like the others, they have 2 queen beds and a pull-down sleeper sofa type thing for a child or smaller adult. And the rooms are very spacious. That is something about all of these. They are very nice big rooms. We can easily fit our family, and then we were able to put a rollaway crib in there as well. So we're a family of 6, and we were able to fit all of us in all of these rooms, and a rollaway crib and our double stroller, and still have room to move around. So the rooms are not like super tight or small by any means. I have not stayed on the DVC side at the Grand Floridian, so I can't really tell you specific details. I believe it only has 1 bathroom. I'm trying to remember seeing a video of it or not. I know the cash paying side, they only have 1 bathroom. I believe the Polynesian is the only studio that has 2 bathrooms of the 3 resorts, but I could be wrong. The Polynesian rooms that are DVC are absolutely beautiful. We toured the 3, we toured the studio, the 2-bedroom, and the 3-bedroom, and they are beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I don't think you could do anything better with them. The cash paying side, non-DVC rooms, they are also pretty and nice. They are slightly in need of a little maybe restoration or a little bit of a facelift. They are still really nice and beautiful, but they are feeling a little worn down, and just for the price point you pay, I guess maybe you go in just expecting, you know, a little bit higher. And I would say the DVC side meets that. They definitely meet that, what I would expect for the price point. But the cash pay side, I think it needs a little bit of work. And I think if I've heard, they plan to do some renovating soon. And I don't think it necessarily needs to completely change the look or anything. It just needs maybe a little bit of a refresh. Like maybe some new carpet, the upholstery maybe cleaned a little better or replaced. Just some things like that. So I mean, don't get me wrong, like it's not like, oh, this room is horrible. It's just, it's time probably for a little bit of a refresh. Now, let's move on to the lobby and dining. They also have quite a few restaurants actually at the Grand Floridian. We only ate at 2. We ate at the quick service. I cannot remember the name of it. I'll put a picture here. And it was very good food. It was great for us because of our room location. Like, it was literally just steps outside our door. So that was really nice and easy to grab food, and especially with their mobile service. You know, just order it and I could run out and grab it and go right back to the room, and that made it really nice and easy. They also have the Grand Floridian Cafe, and this food is also very good. It's a very nice little restaurant, kind of just, you know, has that Victorian feel. Like you could see Mary Poppins walking through or something. They have some neat like chocolate sculptures in there, and just some pretty artwork, and it's more of a like a home cooking kind of food. I'm trying to think. I think I got like some kind of a chicken and green beans and mashed potatoes, that kind of food, and it was good food. Yeah. The lobby is beautiful. And unfortunately, when we were there, there was no live music at all. We went during Christmas time, so it's sad that they didn't have live music. And they had a big tree, which is pretty. It's beautiful at Christmas, absolutely gorgeous. And they had music playing like in the speakers and stuff. But normally they have live music there. They have like a band or a pianist and stuff. And I think it was really missing that when we went, because I've been in the lobby before with the live music, and it definitely adds something to it. So very nice lobby, nice to kind of relax in and sit in. I personally do not feel like it is as child friendly as the Polynesian. The Contemporary I also felt like wasn't quite as child friendly. The Polynesian just felt the most kid friendly to me. And maybe it's just because of the time that we went. There were definitely a lot more kids around the Polynesian. When we went to the Floridian, or the times that we have been in the Contemporary, I was kind of one of the only people with kids. Most of the other people there were older or younger and didn't have children with them. So, I mean, it was okay. It's Disney, so everywhere at Disney is always kid-friendly, but I didn't feel as comfortable there as I did at some of their other resorts with the kids. If it had just been me and my husband, it would have been fine. Or even me and one kid, but I have 4 kids, and so when we walk in a room and we're the only people that have kids, we kind of just stand out and it's obvious. You know how that goes. All right, the pool. They have a very nice pool at the Grand Floridian, and then they have like a kiddie pool area. What I do not like about this pool is the kiddie pool is like over here and the main pool is like over here, and there's a lot of stuff in between. So it makes it hard for someone like me that has 2 kids in this pool and 2 kids in this pool. I cannot sit and watch them both. I had to pick a set of children to watch and then send my husband to watch the other set. Where at the Polynesian, I'm able to sit and see them both. And the Contemporary, actually, I don't even remember where the kiddie pool was located at. We did not stay there. We just kind of spent some time walking around and looking at the Contemporary, so I don't know it as well because I didn't spend a whole week there like I did at these others. I just spent like a day. Anyway, so their pool is really pretty, and the kiddie pool is fun. It's kind of like a Mad Hatter tea party type theming, so it's fun. But I do wish that you could see both pools at the same time. The pool is also quite a bit smaller than the other pools that we have stayed at, and it wasn't an issue for when we were there. We were there at Christmas time and COVID time, and so there was not many people there. It was pretty empty. We were some of the few people at the pool. There were maybe like 2 other families, so it worked out fine. And the majority of the resort was not even open because it was COVID. They only had like 2 buildings open. So if it was a normal time and they were booked full and they were at capacity, I would imagine that pool would be super packed, and I don't know that it'd be as enjoyable because I don't see how it could have room for that many people. But it did have a really nice slide, and it was fun, and it's kind of like, it has like this fun waterfall thing that you can kind of go behind, and it also has some pretty views. You can see out over the lagoon, and then it has some really neat views of the monorail. The monorail goes like right beside the pool, and so it's kind of fun just to be sitting there at the pool and you can see the monorail going back and forth. So that is also a really nice thing about that pool. And like the other resorts, you can just hop on the monorail and be at the Magic Kingdom within minutes. We actually timed it one day from the time we left our room, which is we were in one of the outer buildings on a lagoon view. So we weren't even like super close to the monorail station, not like far, but one of the further buildings from the monorail station. And from leaving our room to going through security, getting on the monorail, getting all the way around to the Magic Kingdom, getting off and being on Main Street, and then at the castle, it took us 10 minutes. 10 minutes between our door of our hotel room to the castle. You cannot beat that, guys. Like, that is the fastest I think I've ever gotten in the park and down Main Street ever. And it helped it was COVID, so things were really like empty. But even if it's more full, that just shows like if you're at the Grand Floridian, that definitely gives you the quickest access to the Magic Kingdom. The Contemporary could possibly be as quick since you can just walk straight in pretty much. It's just a quick little walk. But yeah, that was really nice. We thought that was pretty amazing and could easily get spoiled to that, guys. All right, guys, that is the 3 monorail resorts. Have you stayed at any of those resorts? Which one was your favorite if you do? Which one do you hope to stay at if you have not stayed at any? Drop your comments down below. I want to hear from you what you think about the resorts or what your hopes and dreams are for the resorts. We definitely will be staying at the Polynesian again. I don't know when, but we will. We love that resort. There's no way that we could not end up at the Polynesian again. I mean, I guess unless the world collapses, which I don't know. Who knows? We may stay at the Floridian again one day. You just really can't beat the access to the Magic Kingdom. It's really nice. And I've never actually stayed the night at the Contemporary, so one day I would like to book there just because I want to check that off my bucket list. I would like to stay at all the Disney resorts at one point. So one day I'll probably have to do a split stay and stay there at least a night or two. But yes, tell me what your thoughts are on the resorts, which is your favorite, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.